All right. Once again, you know those words. Rousey's getting ready to say the words.
It must be Tuesday. It
And
must
Tuesday
be
it is.
Tuesday.
Down in Sports Talk, we in the building. What it is, what it do, what it shall be. Left-handed in the house. RM Des on Twitter. The other thing. That's my Code D in the house. No matter what nobody say. Yes, y'all the bear in the house.
Going on.
Um, Tonight, man. Getting to a lot of stuff. You already know. Rest in peace to my New York Knicks. All right, great season. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna talk about all the baseball teams. Well, the majority of them anyway. You know what I mean? This is all Memorial Day chop up. Happy holidays this weekend coming up to everybody and all that good stuff. We're gonna get into the WNBA. We're gonna get into a whole bunch of stuff. So, but without any further ado, all right, Philly in the building, stand up. Y'all the Bears in the house. What's good, Browski? What's happening?
Man, not for much, chilling, relaxing, enjoying my first place feels,
Yes.
um, enjoying the NBA off season. I would like to welcome you to the off season. It's
Thank
very
you very much.
comfortable
Thank you
here,
very much. Thank you very
very
much.
comfortable here, and just enjoying baseball right now. Baseball has been very good. Not just because the Phillies are hot, but I'm just saying like overall because I watched a couple of Dodger games, I watched a couple of Padre games, and I just watched Bryce Harper hit home run. So against the defending,
Life is good.
yeah, against the defending World Series champs, Texas Rangers, everybody kept saying, oh well, the Phillies ain't play nobody. The Phillies ain't play nobody. Well, the Phillies are playing who's in front of them, and right now it's the Texas Rangers. So
Yeah, that it is. The Texas Rangers. We in the building, man. You know how we do it every Tuesday night, man. 8 to 9, something like that. We're gonna set off the show tonight talking about what we talk about, and we like talking about the WNBA. So we're gonna set it off talking about the WNBA. Caitlin Clark. Um, you know, it is what it is. They're gonna follow her around. The people who knew it was gonna be a lot tougher than they've been making it out to be, or that they were proposing it that it was gonna be, because you deal in real life, and when you deal in real life, people like, oh my goodness, can't believe this is going on. She's facing adversity for the first time in her life. You know what I mean? You face adversity all the time. So we're going to definitely talk about some stuff going on in the WNBA. I wanted to get your opinion, Yada Bear, on what your thoughts in regards to how Caitlin Clark is being treated, how Caitlin Clark is being covered, and just basically how everything is centering around Caitlin Clark and not even necessarily her Indiana Fever teammates.
well, I feel like the coverage that they're giving her is too much. Um, I understand she's what's the number one overall pick. She broke all of these collegiate records. She was an outstanding collegiate player, but that's the key word: collegiate, college. This is professional women's basketball. Who she's playing against professional women who have 10 plus years in professional basketball here in the states and international. So this is a whole new breed of players that she's playing against. And the attention that she's getting from upper players, I think it's a regular assignment for a star player on any team. It just looks a little bit extra because we never saw her playing against grown women. These are grown women that she's playing against, not 19, 20 year old young ladies in college. You know, the game is a lot quicker. The game is a lot harder because these women in the WNBA are a lot better. And this is what Cheryl Swoops and Diana Taurasi was saying when people were saying, "Oh, Cheryl Swoops is just hating on Caitlin Clark. She's hating on her." No, she was trying to tell y'all Clark fans out there, that hey, when she gets to the league, She's not going to be running off of screens open, wide open. She's not going to be able to pull up from half court taking threes. She's not going to be able to get to the basket as easily as she did in college because this is a more physical game in the WNBA. And it's partly the coach fault too. Um, the Indiana Fever is a very young team. It's not just Caitlin Clark. You have Aaliyah Boston there. Rookie of the year last year.
Right. Right.
This is her second season. You got Nalisha Smith, who's actually not really showing up in none of these games. Like she was supposed to, was looked at to be like one of the leaders on this young team. And then you got to look at coaching. This is a different coach. Caitlin only had one coach for her 4 years of college, in Iowa. New system, new teammates. It's when she was in Iowa. She was playing with chicks that she'd been playing with for 3 to 4 years. So they knew her style of play. They knew the spots on the court. They knew when to look for a pass, when not to look for a pass. And it's only 4 games in, and she's still, getting her feet right. This is typical, rookie behavior in the professional, sporting. But then you got to put your finger at the media. They are highlighting her as if she's the only rookie out there. Nobody's talking about Rokia Jackson in LA coming off the bench, scoring double figures almost every game that she played. Nobody's talking about Angel Reese up in Chicago, up there getting almost getting double doubles. Helping Chicago get their first victory under a new coach, Teresa Witherspoon. And I'm talking about her defense. That they're not talking about Katie Martin. In Vegas out there making great defensive plays. Earning her time on the 2-time national championship team. Nobody's talking about that. So I feel like it's the media, it's her fans and the league fault because how do you schedule this team that's a very young team 4 games with 2 of the toughest teams in the Eastern Conference? You got the defending Eastern Conference champions in the New York Liberty, and then you got Connecticut Sun, which is one of the top defensive teams in the league, with former MVPs on the squad. So it's like your first 4 games against those 2 teams. What did you expect was going to happen? And I know y'all gonna say, oh yeah, well she scored 20 points, in the first game. Oh, she scored about like 22 the other game, but those were hard fought
losses.
Points. And on top of that, look at the amount of turnovers she has. Not only her, but the rest of the team. How many missed opportunities this team had? Them trying to figure out where she's passing the ball at. She's trying to, push the pace and pass the ball ahead and to get intercepted, because nobody's running the floor. And also, I have to say this, for them to be so young, they are the most laziest bunch of basketball players I've ever seen. They don't die for loose balls. They don't get as many second chance shots. They don't run for loose balls. They are very undisciplined. They don't have like the hustle in them like that for being a young team. Like these girls, they should be running. And to me, I gotta point my fingers at the coach because what are we doing at practice? You have a young squad. You should be running. Like these other teams, they should be tired. New York should have been tired. John Paul Jones, Breanna Stewart, they should be tired running up and down the court, chasing all these young ladies on the Indiana Fever. But it's still a long season to go. Hopefully, during the Olympic break, Caitlin get in the gym. I think she need to get a little bit more muscle on her. And she just needs to get in there and put up some more shots. And maybe her and a couple teammates who are not on the Olympic team, they need to practice together, bond, so that they can be, cohesive. But like I said, it's an early season. How y'all feel about the Caitlin Clark treatment?
Um, First of all, Windwalker's in the house. What up, yo?
Hey, what's happening?
Um,
What's happening?
I think when we talk behind the scenes, myself and YADABEAR, all right, about who we could think of that made that transition, that seamless transition from college to the WNBA. And for me, it's the person I can think of like off the rip is Candace Parker.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that when you talk about what Caitlin Clark is doing and what she's not doing, she's leading the Fever in scoring,
yeah.
right? I think she's averaging 17 basket, which is leading all rookies. I
Hmm.
think that they want to compare that to other, WNBA rookie seasons like Kelsey Plum or Nafisa Collier,
Yeah.
Sabrina Lescu. I think that you know you need to let her be her, find her way. You know,
Hmm.
um, to have stats like she's the first player or the fourth player in WNBA history to record like 50 points and 15 assists through 3 games. Like, who cares about that? Like, you know what I
Well,
mean? Just
they said
see,
all that,
let's
and they
see.
still 0-4.
Absolutely. My point is exactly. Let's see where she's at. By the time they go for the Olympic break, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because again, her schedule is definitely condensed. You know what I mean? And when I
Hmm.
mean condensed, you go in 40 games now, hard body. You know what I mean? You're gonna have
Yeah.
a break. That's gonna be Olympics. So, and I'm
Facts.
imagining she's gonna be on the Olympic squad. So, that's definitely that right there. We in the building, man. Tuesday night, how we do it. We're gonna keep the vibe on basketball. Windwalker's in the house. What's good, man? You want to talk about the WNBA a little bit? You got something to talk
Yeah,
about?
and add on to about the Caitlin Clark.
Go
She
ahead.
got a target. She got a target on her back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Straight up, she got a target on her back. And them players, they letting her know that this is just like when you come into the NBA. Welcome to the NBA. This is
Yeah.
welcome to the WNBA.
Ain't nothing
Most
And you
sweet,
going,
definitely.
right?
yeah,
Ain't nothing sweet,
ain't no freebies. Hey,
right?
we try to
And
get paid just like you.
absolutely. So again, at the end of the day, it's like we talk about it all the time when in football and baseball and the NBA, where it's like these guys, it comes down to you battling for your job, battling for your livelihood. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially in the WNBA where it's really tight. You know what I mean? You
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
got teams who cut their entire draft. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's really, really tight and it's crucial. So you got somebody coming here riding the wave, basically. You know what I mean? They're riding the wave. Like, Angel Reese is on the wave. Camila Cardoso's on the wave. Hopefully she gets back to play real soon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These, other Rakea Jackson's on a wave. But the wave that Caitlin Clark is on, it kind of makes you want to, okay, when you circle the Indiana Fever on your schedule, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I
Right.
kind of want to talk about, moving, shifting the attention from Caitlin Clark to Aaliyah Boston and
Yeah.
how this is what I want to talk about, Browski,
Go
with
right ahead.
that situation. Aaliyah Boston, right? Um, you know, last year rookie of the year, Indiana Fever, doing her thing. A lot of onus is being put on her in the case of the fact that Indiana Fever have not won a game. And for me, it's like I kind of bugged out when I found out that she was deleting her social media
Yeah. I
and
don't
stuff
like
like
that.
that. I don't like that either. You got to take the bitter with the sweet, and I think that's I wanted to get your opinion on that because for me, I just thought that was kind of like on some I don't want to say nothing negative, but it is what it is. Like how you gonna run away from the fire? You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
Um,
When
that's right.
you the rookie of the year and you lead the rookies in scoring and you got that South Carolina thing going on, it's all good. And to me that's indicative of today's athlete, not just Aaliyah Boston, but when they
Yeah,
take it to the extreme, saying I'm shutting down my social media because nobody's saying nothing positive about me. I don't get it, man. Everybody wants to be in a bubble. Everybody wants to be so great. Everybody wants to get a win first. How about that?
Um,
I'm
I'll
just saying.
say, I'll say this. I don't. Again, it's the second year in the league. It shouldn't be all on her shoulders.
Right.
Where is the veteran presence on this team? It's the coach's responsibility. And again, I also have to also point my finger at the league again, because
Mhm.
they were so caught up in this Caitlin Clark circus, this bubble, that they need to showcase her every chance they get. But you showcasing her in the bad light against one of the best teams in the league. You want to put
The
this woman on
juggernauts.
TV every day. She's on TV every other day. Okay, and
38 out of 40 games on
yeah,
national TV.
on national
Right.
TV.
Right.
That's
Right.
So
that's crazy.
that's crazy. But they're not thinking that. Wait a minute, the team around her isn't that good. They had the first overall pick 2 years in a row for a reason. Good teams don't get the first overall pick.
You got to be
Bad teams
down.
do.
Not 2 years in a row.
Not 2 years in a row.
You got to be down, down, down.
Yeah, bad teams get the first overall pick. So that is the league fault. That's, they want to showcase her so bad that they don't care about putting a bad product on the screen
On the floor,
for
right,
millions
right,
to watch.
right.
You
That's
know,
right.
we want to highlight the league, Caitlin Clark. If you want to see just Caitlin Clark, then guess what they need to do? Sign up for the league pass. They taking money out of their own pockets by showcasing her around like she's a prize pony. So now everybody gets to see her for free, and it's not a good showing. I mean, how many games has Chicago been on national TV? I think
Hmm.
one. I think it's only one game I saw on national TV that Chicago been on there. I think the Sparks been like maybe twice. But what about you know the Dallas Wings when they're not playing Indiana? What about the Atlanta Dream, who their fans had sold them out for the season? And but they can't get a
Remember,
national TV game, not national
remember,
televised games.
remember when Brittany Griner was supposed to go to be the dominant force in the WNBA?
Remember that?
Remember
What
when
happened
Brittany
to that?
Griner was going to just run through the WNBA like crazy? One more thing before we move on from this. I want to get your opinion, Browski and Windwalker. What do you think the WNBA's? I mean, we know in the grand scheme it's about getting the most eyeballs and getting, try to get some more sponsorship and things of that nature. But what is the WNBA's end game with the Indiana Fever this year? What do they really expect the Fever to do with the
Well,
Aces and the Libs and all those other teams that are in front of them? What are they expecting the Indiana Fever to do?
I don't think they expect them to do anything with them, but I think they expected Caitlin Clark to come out of the water and hitting half court threes like she was doing in college. They expected her to come out the gate scoring 30 points.
If they
You
expected
know,
that, they're sadly mistaken.
yeah,
They all messed.
they
They
expected
totally messed up.
yeah, they expected her to go, 9 to 12 from the 3 point line, things like that. That's what they expected. And what they failed to realize that she's not the only one that's electrifying the TV screen what they play. Angel Reese is a rebound machine up there in Chicago. You
And
know,
she's doing it without Cardozo.
she definitely is doing it. And, the putbacks, the defense, like the Sky is actually look like a pretty good team, especially defensively, which I wouldn't put it past because their head coach is Teresa Witherspoon, who was one of the
Absolutely. Let's
toughest
go, Spoon.
defenders in the league when she was
Hmm.
on, the New York Liberty team.
That's right.
T Spoon
Teaspoon in the building.
will lock you down. So her
Right.
as the head coach with Angel Reese, who already came in the league with a defensive mindset and a mindset of she want to grab every board, that's a dangerous combination. And she's doing this with Camilla on the shelf. So as she stated on draft night, what the league going to do with them two on the boards? Nobody's going to get any boards.
Right.
I mentioned earlier in LA, Vakia Jackson coming off the bench, killing it in LA. Cameron Brink, she's starting, and she's killing on the defensive end and on the boards. There's other ladies out there that's killing the game, and it's a shame that the league are not highlighting all of them. They want to do all these little specials, with certain players, but how about highlighting this rookie class? Because this is one of the best rookie classes that was drafted since the league came together. In other years, you had a couple players sprinkled here and there that's like, oh, this is a special player. You got Brianna Stewart, super special when she got drafted. Sabrina Ionescu, super special when she got drafted. Brittany Griner. But this class collectively is special. And they're just missing that. And this is what they struggle with. They are struggling with just putting all the eggs in the Caitlin Clark basket and not spreading the love to the whole rookie class. What do you think about that?
And
I think that we should move on to the NBA. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the WNBA is would tell you, they would say that they love what's going on right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, they got to crawl before they walk, and hopefully that they'll put some things together. NBA Conference Finals kick off tonight. You got the Indiana Pacers at the Boston Celtics. But before we get into that, I'm going to take my both slings and arrows from YADABEAR and WINDWALKER, because I joined them in the off-season home, in the retirement home. They left the space for me. So my New York Knicks, man, they did what they could do. Went out in 7 games against the Pacers. Injuries. I'm not that dude. Oh, we was hurt, this and that and the third. It happens. Some people were like, oh, the Knicks needed Julius Randle. I'm like, look at what they did without him. So for me, I'm not really into that Julius Randle thing, because I'm going to stand on business, because I've been saying it since the Atlanta series when he didn't show up. I don't need that dude on my team. So again, at the end of the day, that's what I am with that. May the New York Knicks 2023-2024 season rest in peace. Tom Thibodeau did what he could do. I'm saying that right now, Hartenstein, if he goes to the free agency, I wouldn't be mad. We talked behind the scenes, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo. I think I would like for both of those guys to stay, but it'd probably be an impossibility at this point if the Knicks decided to go out and go get a upper tier. I'm not going to say top tier. I'm going to say an upper tier, upper echelon type player. At this point, who is an upper echelon type player? You know what I mean? You can't even count on the Giannis Antetokounmpos of the world. Let's keep it real. You can't count on those dudes. And those dudes are supposed to be the upper echelon, the best of the best, the cream of the crop. Whoop-de-whoop. They come to New York and they give you the career. Well, they got rings, so that'd be nice. But if they give you the career that they giving you in New York, they would get crucified. Giannis would get crucified.
Yeah.
Giannis Antetokounmpo outside of the ring, because he got that. That's a saving grace. I'm not mad at that. If Giannis Antetokounmpo had the career that he's having in Milwaukee right now in New York, nah. Nope. It wouldn't last 5 minutes. And then you want to give I'm sorry, Braxton, I have to mean to cut your wisdom. If you want to give me Donovan Mitchell, same difference.
Yeah.
What the dudes going to do? What are they going to do? I mean, again, Jalen Brunson is supposed to be is the heart and soul of this team. All right, you got Josh Hart, who contributes. He reminds me a lot of John Starks. He has his moments, and then he does the bonehead stuff. But I can't take nothing away from him. He played minutes, big minutes, lots of minutes in that series. do the whole playoff. Respect to him.
Yeah, he did.
But if Isaiah Hartenstein left the free agency and I woke up that he wasn't on the Knicks no more, I wouldn't be mad. Let him go get his bread somewhere else. Let him go to the Clippers somewhere. Let him go out west somewhere. He can go where he want to go. You know what I mean? McBride, I think he's hit or miss with me as well. Like I'm like Alex Burke. You know what? If I'm gonna say no to McBride, I would be kind of contradictory in saying no to Alex Burke. And I see YADABEAR over there playing the violin. That's okay. Let me pontificate for a hot second before we get into the Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals. My team is my team. Put some respect on my New York Knicks. We're going to get better now. Now we are in the conversation, and we're seriously in the conversation right now. So I'm going to say to you, Philadelphia 76ers fans out there, and you Milwaukee Bucks fans out there, you Boston Celtics fans out there, the New York Knicks are coming. The Knicks are coming. Eastern Conference Finals right now, you got Boston and the Indiana Pacers. The Celtics are – listen, here's the thing. What I wanted to ask you, Broski and Win. I wanted to ask you, who's the most pressure on? Just the Eastern Conference Finals. Who's the most pressure on?
Boston.
And why do you say that?
Because they done been there. Come on, it's time to get over that hump.
And you say and you would say the other teams like Dallas and Indiana and Minnesota. Why isn't there any pressure on you? I'm looking for something.
Listen, the pressure is not only on the Celtics, but it's on Jason Tatum.
Right. Yep. Let's go, bro.
Okay, because for you to be placed in that upper echelon of players, how do we measure greatness? By championships. Okay, this is his second go around within like the last couple years to get to. I mean, last year they lost to Miami, a team they shouldn't have lost to. Now they going against the Pacers, a team that, if you look on paper, they should walk through this team, right? But we have seen time and time again where they just can't close out a game. And it's at home too. It's not like on the road, it's at home. So the pressure is on the Celtics. It's on Jason Tatum because he's the heart and soul of that team. Regardless of what anybody would say, Jaylen Brown been balling out this season.
They got rid of Marcus Smart.
Yeah. Drew Holiday been balling out.
They got Porzingis.
But
right. We got Porzingis. That's
nice.
Right.
But without Jason Tatum, the Boston Celtics is a 6-7 seed. He's the leader of that team. He's the engine that makes that team go. So if he's not showing up, then it's like what you got to do. You change the coach, okay? You change the roster around them. You change the roster around Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, okay? You flip the roster.
They had Kyrie Irving.
They had Gordon Hayward. They had all these people, but they still end up in the same spot,
Mm-hmm.
So now here we go again.
And it was in the finals.
Yes,
against the
Warriors. So here we go again. They're in the Eastern Conference Finals, playing against a team that most people will say are undeserving to be there. No one thought the Pacers would be in the Eastern Conference Finals. Nobody thought that would happen.
Nobody picked that.
Again, here's the Celtics, and can they just go out here and get this over with? Can they go out there and just run through this team like they should on paper? Probably not. They probably not. Truthfully, would I be surprised if the Pacers pull this out and beat them? No, I wouldn't be, because we have seen I wouldn't be surprised, because we have seen Boston do that. We saw it last year against the Miami Heat. They should have they should have ran through the Heat. The Heat should have never been in the NBA Finals. But look what happened. Boston came up short. And hold, one more thing. And remember what we had said, what I said at the beginning of the whole playoff. The team that is the healthiest in the East will take the East. So right now we got the two healthiest teams from the East, Celtics and the Pacers.
And on that note, I would say the Pacers are more healthier than the Celtics because Porzingis is out.
I mean, yeah, but Porzingis is supposed to be back by game 3 or game 4. But
and what's the series going to be by game 3 or game 4?
Exactly. It could be,
you know what I mean?
No. It could be 2-2. It could be 2-1. It could be 3-0. And with the Celtics, we don't know. But throughout, both conferences, they got the pressure. All
right, let's get into the real situation, Windwalker. We're gonna start off with you, big bro.
Hey, it's like this. You just got a brand new contract with all this money, Mr. Man. You the face of the Boston Celtics. It's time for you to show and improve. You've been there 6 times. 6. Nothing. You've been in that Final 4, the Final 8, Final 4, Final 2. You've been there. Now, the East, it was 2 juggernauts in the East that should have been at this game. And I ain't sucking up to you, Yada. It should have been Philly and the Boston. That's who everybody predicted. Philly and Boston, this game that they finna play. And Boston would probably take it. Now, you got all the pieces there, but you still ain't showing up. The other dudes have been carrying the weight. It ain't been when you've been watching these games, it ain't been the Jason Tatum show at all. It's been everybody's show.
He looked like one of the guys.
Just one of the guys.
Yeah.
Just like with the Pacers, it ain't been Halliburton. It's been the whole team, collective.
It's been a collective, yeah.
It's been a collective. So for you to stamp yourself down as one of those players that's in that upper echelon, quote unquote, with the LeBrons, the Antetokounmpos, the Currys,
the Jokers,
the Jokers. You on that level right there. Now it's time to show up.
Yep.
You gotta walk that walk and talk that talk. You being quiet. Why? Because your game ain't up to par. Now we need them 43 and 50 games, and you looking and throwing your hands up and wiping the sweat off your brow, walking towards the crowd, getting them into it. We need that.
Yeah.
Where is that at?
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying?
All right, no doubt. That's how it is. Let's talk about the West. Let's talk about the West, man, because we're running out of time. Let's talk about
the West. Man. The West. Well, well, let me just say this here. I'm not gonna, say I told you so about Dallas, but I told you so about Dallas. I said all season, and like, hey, who you got as the dark horse in the West? The Mavericks. Why? Luka and Kyrie. People forgot who Kyrie is. People forgot. And then what made matters even worse for the people in the West is the fact that at the trade deadline, you know, they got Gafford, and then the most underrated, overlooked selection that they did was PJ Washington. And people didn't know that PJ Washington was actually good because PJ Washington was in basketball hell in Charlotte. That's why people didn't realize that, hey, one, he's a really good defender. Two, when he starts to get going, he's good. He's a scorer. He knows how to score. Okay? So when they was up against OKC, you know, he was putting the screws in Josh Giddey. Where was Josh Giddey? Where was Jalen Williams? Where was Chet Holmgren? They left SGA on the island, you know, left him on the island, and Dallas took advantage of it. You know, Luka sprained knee, hurt ankle, sore back, triple doubles. None of that mattered. And then here we go, Kyrie Irving. You know, he didn't make big splashes during that series, but when he definitely had a nice impression of the game, and again, numbers don't lie. He's 14-0 in closeout games. He knows how to close out a series, and Kyrie helped him push him over the top in Game 6. Because when I saw Game 6, I said, all right, everybody kept saying, well, look at that. OKC up 14. I thought you said the Mavs were going to close it out. I'm like, they still never have. It's a lot of time left. And then just chip away, and then Kyrie start doing Kyrie things. Little floaters, little, 12-footers, get into the rack, getting on, getting to the foul line, and then Luka doing Luka things. Great passes, hitting the trays, getting boards. The Mavericks is a dangerous team. And as much as I like the Timberwolves, I think the Mavs going to take it. Mavs going to the finals. I mean, you can shake your head all you want, but all that they was doing against Denver, that defense, I can't see them doing that to Luka.
The matchups.
Kyrie.
Yeah, the matchups are in the Timberwolves' favor.
Oh, they can be favored all they want because I'm pretty sure they just knocked off the number 1 seed, the defending champion. But what they don't have on that team is experience. And that man Kyrie got all the experience you need in the finals. Okay, he been there on both sides.
Anthony Edwards said, "I'm gonna D Kyrie."
Yeah, and we all know, we have seen Kyrie for years, and we all know how dangerous that is to call this man out who didn't have a big series against OKC, and you calling him out in the Western Conference Final. So you don't think that Uncle Drew is going to show up?
He has to. He averaged 15 points against the Thunder.
Exactly. So I'm looking for a breakout series, and you calling him out. I feel like Uncle Drew going to lace up them sneakers in Game 1 and have to remind Anthony Edwards that you are a fan of mine. First and foremost.
I mean, they could throw some people at Kyrie and them. The McDaniels kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They could. I think they're really, really hungry, and this is really, really going to be test them and their defensive presence and the defensive mettle. Again, I don't know who is going to really, really win this series. I like Minnesota. I like Boston, and I think I'm thinking Boston's going to handle in the end a little bit easier than people give them credit for. I think that series will go 5 games. I think Boston's going to win, and I see the Boston Celtics and the Minnesota Timberwolves in the NBA Finals.
I got Celtics Mavs. I think Celtics winning 6.
I
think Mavs
win
6.
I got the same thing you got. Exactly. Boston, and Timberwolves.
All right, that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right, now we're gonna get to the part that we was talking about. We've been talking about for a few weeks, all season long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All season long, man. Listen, where do we start? Do we start
Let's
at the
go.
local? Do we start at the home office, or do we take it down to
Yankees.
the I-95 and
Go ahead.
Citizens Bank
Go ahead and
Park
talk
and
about y'all
all that
Yankees.
stuff
Go
right
ahead.
there?
Let's
Y'all
No,
can go
go.
ahead and talk
let
about.
you in, Browski.
Yankees.
Y'all
I'm gonna
go
let
ahead
you
and
in.
talk about
I'm gonna
those.
talk. I'm gonna let you.
Go ahead
I'm
and
gonna
talk
let
about
you
them
talk about.
stinking Yankees.
I'm gonna let you talk about your Phillies and talk about some other teams that you like and things of that nature. It's all you. Go ahead.
Go ahead
No,
and
no,
talk
no.
about
You go. No. You go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, you want to hear from the Major League best team in baseball right now? You know, MajorLeague.com. You know, put up the rankings. I didn't put them up. You know, I was surprised just like everybody else. I said, oh wow, the Phillies
Bullshit.
are up top. You know,
Bullshit.
where they belong. I said, oh, that's wonderful. But you know,
Bullshit.
right now we are playing the defending World Series chance right now. Top of the eighth, you know, we up 3-2, 2 outs and 2 men on with 2 strikes. But you know, my Phillies have really surprised me this season. We generally start off a little slow, but we knew that this year we had a little chip on our shoulder. You know, going out in the in NLCS last season to the Diamondbacks. You know, we knew that we was the better team last season, and you know, they came out strong. A lot of people, you know, want to point the finger like, oh, well, they really ain't playing nobody like that. Well, I can't help that. This is the schedule that Major League Baseball put in front of us, and right now, we are handling the Rangers. So, you know, if we take this series, what else can they say about us? We got, you know, the best bullpen right now. Um, our number 3 starting pitcher, Ranger Suarez, is out here, you know, killing the game. One of the lowest ERAs, the second lowest ERA in Major League Baseball. He's currently 8-0. So you know, we looking good. And we doing all of this with one of our key guys being out. You know, and Trey Turner with the hamstring. You know, and when he went down, he was hot. So to still maintain the effectiveness at the plate without that bat, I'm happy with. You know, I'm happy with the position that we're at. I can't wait to see, you know, what else we can do. Um, the one thing I am a little iffy about is our closer situation. We don't have a natural closer. That Jimmy Stewart by platoon. Jimmy, it's like a situational closing situation we got. I don't like that. I need a certified closer. So hopefully they can take care of that before the trade deadline. Something about baseball and pitching, it cracks me up that they, you know, always like to wait to like the day before the trade deadline or on the trade deadline to make those type of deals, which is crazy to me. But I mean, it is what it is, and another team that I'm want to talk about that I'm kind of, you know, disappointed in because there's always a lot of hype around them is the Cincinnati Reds. You know, they want to talk about Ellie De La Cruz. You know, oh, he had 4 stolen bases in one game, but what did those 4 stolen bases do? They're 19-28. They at the bottom of the National League Central. It's like, you know, they have all this hype around this team. You know, this it's a young team. They're really athletic. They're really, you know, real good. These guys are good, but I'm not seeing it. It's not translating on the field. So I feel like they need to make a change. And I think, you know, with Ellie De La Cruz being as hot as he is, maybe they need to trade him to get some more prospects in because this one guy is not
Whoa.
carrying the team. I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it. Like, it's been a lot of losing in Cincinnati, you know, and I get you got this one guy who's, you know, electrifying and exciting, but that's not equaling into wins. You have a lot of holes in places that this one guy, moving him could help you.
Right.
That's just something, for them to think about and just something to throw out there. Because right now, I'd rather win versus being entertained and losing. You can still be entertained and winning. Winning makes everybody feel good. I I don't care if you got Joe Smo out there. I don't care if your cleanup hitter name is Ken Random, some random guy out there. But you're winning. Okay, but you want to buy all these De La Cruz's jersey and be in the stands dancing and applaud when he's still a base, but then the next guy up strikes out, ground out, and then you guys going back on defense without scoring any points.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but go ahead, my Yankee fans. I know y'all
Well,
yeah. That was
yeah.
nice.
That was cool.
That soliloquy right there was sponsored by Run DMC and all that.
Yeah, the National League champ.
The New York Yankees. No Garrett Cole, no problem. We got three guys. Soto, Judge, and Stanton. Each of them have over 10 home runs.
Already.
I think that Clay Holmes is added onto it with that 17 inning consecutive scoreless inning streak. I'm liking what the Yankees are doing right now. You know what I mean? And it's early. I think that this part of the season, in seasons past, it was like, okay, whatever, we're gonna get this season over with. The Yankees could contend for a wild card. We're talking about a wild card in May. Right now, are the Yankees right back where they need to be? Not yet, because they were not complete. You know what I'm saying? So let's just ride out this good fortune, because somebody's gonna pull a hamstring, somebody's gonna have a quad problem, or their elbow's gonna be messed up. So it's still a definitely long season. I just wanted to get up with Browski and Windwalker and see, what the thoughts were, because this is the part of the season where we start talking about, okay, so and so is going to do this, and so is going to do that. Instead of now saying it's early, it's not early anymore. You know what I mean? Because we get ready to get into the summer. June, July is coming, then we get to the dog days of August. So our next grading period is going to be what, 4th of July, Browski? Yeah, so the 4th of July. But talking about the Yankees, I think Gleyber Torres, he has to get it together. No DJ LeMahieu, you know what I mean? So we don't have a lot. But we're doing a lot. The teams that I've been impressed by the American League right now, I talked about the Kansas City Royals before the season started. I said that they would actually win the American League Central. They have one of the best and brightest young players in the game, and Bobby Witt Jr. at shortstop. They're a game and a half off the pace behind the Cleveland Guardians in the American League Central. I like what they're doing. I think that if they could get I don't want to say what we call it, Browski, a top or upper echelon pitcher to go out to Kansas City. I think they might be able to put some pressure on what Cleveland's doing right now. Another team that I'm impressed by right now, give me the Seattle Mariners, but it's early. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna put some respect on their name. You know what I'm saying? Nice, healthy two-game lead over the defending world champions. The Houston Astros have not shown up yet. You know what I'm saying? They usually run that American League West division. The Baltimore Orioles, I said it in the beginning of the season, they're not going to be as good as they were last year. They said, they brought up Jackson Holiday, turned around and sent them down, 2 weeks later?
Yeah, real fast. They didn't give him no time. It was hype train.
I think he was batting like .050.
Yeah, it was crazy.
He wasn't working at all. But I think when it comes down to in the American League right now, early, if you ask me, I think the Yankees are the best team in the division, and yeah, that is because I'm a Yankee fan. I'm gonna say it. I think the Yankees are the best team in the division. We can win a game any night. We could also lose a game any night, as evidence against the Seattle Mariners
tonight.
Right? So again, it happens. In the National League, I like what the Phillies are doing. 5-game lead. What does it mean? on May 21st. You know what I'm saying? Talk to me on September 21st.
Exactly.
But I'm still impressed. 20 games over 500. That's nothing to sneeze at, yo.
Listen,
the Phillies are 20 games over 500.
Listen, we didn't get 20 games over 500 till I feel like it was like the beginning of September, end of August. To be 20 games over 500 in May,
right?
It's crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know that it's early, but this is the start that we expected our Phillies to have the past 2 seasons, and we was fighting tooth and claw to make it to the wild card. With this lineup, this is what I expect, and to see it right now is a great thing to see.
No doubt. The rest of the National League, I mean, look at Milwaukee; they're doing their thing. I think the Craig Counsell effect is working out there. He went from the Cubs to the Milwaukee Brewers to manage. Not really worried about the Pittsburgh Pirates or anything like that. The season is getting ready to start, and it's getting ready to get hot, and it's getting ready to get crazy.
Yeah.
The National League West, the Dodgers are doing what they do. They have an 8-game lead on the San Diego Padres. So when you talk about disappointments,
the Padres, my God,
you can write the Padres down in magic marker. No matter what they try to do, they get the Machados of the world. They got they had Juan Soto. They got rid of him. You know what I mean? They got
Xander Bogaerts.
Xander Bogaerts. Sorry, and then he went out to San Diego and he started acting crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then we're not going to talk about Fernando Tatis and Yu Darvish and all those guys out there in San Diego. But watch out. The San Francisco Giants are creeping on the come up. Matt Chapman has found his stroke.
Finally, because my man couldn't hit a beach ball a couple weeks ago. It was
Matt
crazy.
Chapman, he's found his stroke. Now the Giants are 2 games under. They won 4 in a row. They're still way behind the Dodgers. The Dodgers not worrying about nobody, nothing like that. But the disappointment for me is the Atlanta Braves and Ronald Acuna Jr. Ronald Acuna Jr. is playing like garbage.
You don't even know he out there.
Ronald Acuna Jr. is playing like garbage, and he's one of my favorite guys. Him and Ozzie Albies from the Atlanta Braves. Those are my guys. But Ronald Acuna is playing like a mere mortal right now. So again, when you talk about your disappointments, again, this is where we are at the Memorial Day point of the baseball season 2024. We're talking about the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 20 games over 500. We talk about the Atlanta Braves, 10 games over 500, but 5 games behind the Phillies.
Yeah.
How that work?
And
right?
Crazy. I mean? Yeah.
And then you talk about, going back to the American League, the Yankees, 2-game lead over Baltimore, 8 over Tampa Bay. I think that the team that's in last place right now is the big disappointment in the American League. The Toronto Blue Jays.
The Toronto Blue Jays. What happened?
When are you going to get it together? Talk about, a team that, waiting for, their aha moment, because if that team ever gets it together, it's going to be a whole problem. But
you wait for that aha moment for what, 2 years now? 2, 3 years?
More longer than that,
4, 5. It's just been even more.
When do they think about becoming sellers? And then who goes?
That's another team that I take what I said about the Cincinnati Reds, same thing directly to the Toronto Blue Jays. It's like you have to, like you said, you have to become sellers because all this is nothing. It's the same result each year. Like you have to make a change.
It's the head office. They not picking. They scouting and they're drafting. It's not up to par.
Nah, big bro. Nah.
I think so. They got the superstars.
It's those. Right. Say that again.
They got the superstars, but they're
underachieving. When
exactly
all of them.
It's the same take I have on Ellie De La Cruz. You gotta ship them.
All those dudes are underachieving. All of them.
But it's the chemistry. You know what I'm saying? It seems like the chemistry
They've been
is
playing
off.
together for a while. The chemistry is there. It's them. Like
Yeah.
the thing about baseball, you know, we look at it as a team sport, but it's a team sport full of individual. One
Right.
individual play affects the whole squad, and you have a team full of unachieving individual, which caused the team to be extremely bad. It's bad. Sometimes it's so bad, it's bad to watch.
The bad
It's
news
bad to
bears.
watch.
And as a fan of that team, you start to become a little impatient.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you know what you got, but you're just waiting for it to show up.
And it's not.
And year after year after year after year after year passes by when, and the next thing you know, you 7 years in with these guys, you don't have a division title to show for it. You've been to the playoffs times, but got swept.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they paying them big salaries too.
Huh?
They paying them big salaries to these guys too.
Listen.
Yeah, that's a part of it.
Yeah.
That's
so
nothing.
bad. No, they're so bad that it's 5. They are down 5-0 to the White Sox. Okay. Currently, right now, it's the bottom of the 8th, and they're down 5-0 to the White Sox. Okay.
The Chicago White Sox team that we talk about Browski's Phillies are 20 games over 500. The White Sox are 20 games under 500.
Exactly. The opposite direction. So you down 5-0, bottom of the 8th to that team.
Right.
It's crazy.
And every year is supposed to be their year. They sound like the Dallas
Cowboys. Absolutely.
They sound
absolutely.
And who did we point our finger at? Guerrero Jr. You on the cover of MLB The Show 2024. You ain't showing up in none of these games here. Okay, we're having to all those home runs. You know, people want to compare him to his dad.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened when you start comparing them to their fathers. Look at him now, because Daddy Guerrero wasn't looking like this at all. He can't hit.
Hey,
anything right now.
Daddy Guerrero, Daddy Dante Bichette, Daddy Craig Biggio. None of them dudes was looking like this. You know what I mean? So I think that, you know, again, we talk about underachieve and teams that, you know, should be doing more. Again, we're still waiting for the Toronto Blue Jays. That's why we got them as, you know, the ultimate underachievers.
Yeah, they're definitely the ultimate underachievers, you know, because this been going on for a while now. It's
I got a feeling we're gonna go a little overtime tonight because we're gonna jump into this real quick and then we're gonna get up out of here. NFL games that you want to watch this season from your teams. All right, and we're gonna start off with YADABEAR and her Philadelphia Eagles. What game are you looking forward to for your Eagles this year? A couple of games that you're looking forward to this year.
Well, of course, the obvious games against the Cowboys is obvious. I'm looking forward against the Steelers game. You know, we only played the Steelers, you know, a couple times. Well, it's like once, like every 4, maybe 5 years, we get to play them. That's always a good, you know, a good one to play. Of course, the Cowboys. I just have to say this. Week 5 bye is ridiculous. Okay, that right there. When I seen the schedule and I saw that bye, that was the first thing. Like anytime I look at the schedule, when the schedule first released, that's the first thing I look for. When is our bye week? When is our bye week? Because that's, to me, that's extremely important. Week 5 is ridiculous. That means we have like 13 games in a row. And then on top of that, you know, we have the Monday Night Football game against the Falcons. Like, how many times do we have to beat Kirk Cousins in prime time? Like, I don't want to see that. That's not the game I want to see on Monday Night Football. You know what game should have been on Monday Night Football? Us against the Baltimore Ravens. Or us against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm really looking forward to seeing my team play against the AFC North, because that's the toughest division in football, and I need to see where my team stand. I know where my team stands within the NFC, but I need to see where we stand outside of that. And to go up against the AFC North is definitely going to be a challenge, but it should be a fun challenge, and I'm really excited to see those games. Um, I'm not excited to play the Rams Sunday night. I'm not excited for that. I'm not excited. I'm not excited for the first game, Packers in Brazil. I hate that game. I hate it because one, it takes away a home game for us. Two, it's in Brazil. I don't trust those fields. What that field gonna be like over there? I don't know. I'm not really feeling that. But definitely I can't wait to see us against the AFC North. What I will say is that Steelers schedule. I feel bad for the AFC North.
Yeah.
In the whole, because they really did a number on the AFC North, and I think that's because you guys had 3 teams in the playoffs last season. But
Right.
I never seen all 6 divisional games in the back half of the season. That there is crazy. So to me, it's like you guys got to go undefeated in the front half
to play in the back.
Just to try to make your case to win your division, because trying to get a wild card with that schedule is going to be extremely tough. Yeah. I feel like this year it's going to be whoever wins the division is going to make the playoffs. Go ahead, Win.
Yeah.
What games you got? Make it quick, man, because we got to get up out of here.
Okay, I'm going to make it quick.
Yeah, my
Dallas,
bad.
Week 5, Dallas. And, of course, the battle for the state. You know what I'm saying? The Penn State battle when we play Philadelphia. But I'm just going to add on to what Yada was talking about. Our last 8 games, 8 to 10 games, they're just crazy. It's crazy. It's like, you got to come, you got to put your big boy pants on. You got to play. Go ahead, Lift.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. As far as I'm concerned, it's a couple of games that I'm interested in my Buccaneers. Week 4, we got the Eagles coming in. That would really give us a point of emphasis and reference to see where we are coming into this to that particular game. Then we have a gauntlet that we have to go through early November 4th. We got Kansas City Chiefs. Then November 10th, we go home and play the San Francisco 49ers. So those games I'm looking forward to. Late season games, we really be kind of all right. We got Dallas on a Sunday night, December 22nd. I just wanted to see where we are, man. I like our schedule. Our schedule's not really that tough if you really want to look at it. You know what I mean? I want to see what team that the Buccaneers bring into the schedule. You know what I mean? Baker Mayfield's definitely going to have to, earn his money. We'll talk about that as the season gets closer, but those are the games I'm looking forward to. No 3-minute rant tonight. No get down on it tonight. We're about to get up out of here, y'all. I want to, as usual, thank my co-D, YADABEAR. Y'all make sure y'all keep up and check up with her. I want to thank the big homie WINDWALKER, man. You know what I mean? Hope everything is good down there where you at, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it was like the trees jumped out the ground and tried to get into the crib.
Man, that was crazy.
You know what I mean? So that's what that is, man. So y'all do what y'all do out there down in Sports Talk, man. We on YouTube, man. We on stream, y'all. Y'all make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and all that good stuff like that. We're about to get up out of here. Don't go nowhere, y'all. I got like a couple of minutes before I have to get busy. But we out. We'll talk to y'all next week. Make it do what it do. Enjoy your Memorial Day.
Yes, definitely do.
All right, make sure y'all do that. And we are out of here down in Sports Talk, man. We'll holler. Peace.
Peace. Go Phillies 5-2 over Rangers.